प्यारे दोस्तों आदाब। आज के इस वीडियो में जो हम न्यूज़ आइटम्स उठा रहे हैं वो हैं 18 नवंबर 1999, 18 नवंबर 1989। ये न्यूज़ आइटम है। पहला, हड़ताल इन सेवरल कश्मीर टाउन्स, यूथ किल्ड, 3 इंजर्ड, पुलिस ओपन फायर इन श्रीनगर, मिलिटेंट्स रिटेलिएट, टीयर गैसिंग इन बारामूला। डिटेल्स हैं। Security personnel shot dead one youth in Maisuma locality early this morning when they opened fire to disperse small group of people indulging in stone pelting. The deceased was identified as 30-year Jamil Ahmed Lone, who ran a tea stall in Maisuma. दूसरा न्यूज़ आइटम published on the same date, that is 18th November 1989. Kashmir Liberation Front dissidents assail Pakistan-occupied alliance. Pakistan-occupied ruling party Muslim Conference is apparently engaged in a battle of wits with the Kashmir Liberation Front, headed by Amanullah Khan. The two organizations are part of the recently set up Kashmir Liberation Alliance. दूसरा न्यूज़ आइटम published on the same date, that is 18th November 1989, blasts in Baramulla, Anantnag villages, government jeep damaged, 2 officials injured in Srinagar explosion. 3 persons were injured in a powerful explosion which took place this afternoon just behind the new secretariat complex. दूसरा न्यूज़ आइटम published on the same date, that is 18th November 1989, ये हैं blasts, firing in J&K, 150 hurt. The police opened fire in the city today on the militants, exploded bombs and as the military, ये तो है, मैं दूसरा रिपीट करूँगा ये. The police opened fire in the city today when the militants exploded bombs and set fire to a 4-story building and a school, injuring over 150 persons. More than 100 persons were injured and several vehicles and houses damaged in several stone throwing incidents. One person was injured in a powerful blast in Deputy Commissioner's office. An election office set up in the complex was badly damaged. About 4,000 officials staged demonstration in front of DC's office demanding security. A blast occurred in a passenger bus at Hajin. No one was injured. दूसरा न्यूज़ आइटम ये हैं published on the 19th November 1989. Life Insurance Corporation office gutted in powerful explosion. Over 100 injured in police firing. Stoning in Srinagar. A wave of violence and arson in Srinagar and some other parts of Kashmir Valley today left at least 100 persons including police personnel injured, while several buildings including 3-story building in Lal Chowk area which housed the main branch of Life Insurance Corporation of India were burned. दूसरा न्यूज़ आइटम published on the same date, that is 19th November 1989. Extensive damage to building. Bid to blow up DC office in Anantnag. Panic gripped this town when a powerful bomb exploded in the office of the District Development Commissioner, causing extensive damage to the building. दूसरा न्यूज़ आइटम published on the 20th November 1989, 20 नवंबर 1989, ये हैं ट्रूप्स स्टेज फ्लैग मार्च इन श्रीनगर. डिटेल्स हैं. Troops today staged a flag march in some parts of Srinagar city in view of the threat posed by Kashmiri militants to November 22nd Lok Sabha elections. Security measures were further tightened at vital installation and government offices in Kashmir Valley. दूसरा न्यूज़ आइटम है पब्लिश्ड ऑन द सेम डेट दैट इज 20 नवंबर 1989. ये हैं militants bid to sabotage polling. Two proposed polling stations, bridges, houses set ablaze. Bomb blasts in Nation Conference office. Workers' houses. Details हैं with the polling day drawing nearer, suspected militants have stepped up their activities in different parts of South Kashmir, causing fear and panic among the people in general. दूसरा न्यूज़ आइटम published on 21st November 1989. Governor, Chief Secretary in Srinagar. Army alerted. Flag march by Jawans. Army has been alerted in Kashmir Valley following reports that the underground militants were planning to indulge in large-scale violence in next few days, so as to enforce their call for boycotting the Lok Sabha elections and also ensure that it was a big success. दूसरा न्यूज़ आइटम जो पब्लिश हुआ था वो है 21 नवंबर 1989. Explosions rock Anantnag. Tral. 3 government buildings set ablaze in Baramulla. Details हैं notwithstanding the elaborate arrangements made by the authorities, underground militants seem to be having a field today with a number of bomb explosions and incidents of setting ablaze government buildings, especially those having been selected as polling stations, taking place in taking place in parts of Anantnag and Baramulla Lok Sabha constituencies, where polling is scheduled to take place on November 22nd. दूसरा न्यूज़ आइटम published on the 22nd November 1989. Flag march by army in Srinagar, Baramulla, Sopore. Son injured in shootout, series of blasts, acts of arson. 2 businessmen, father and son, were injured in a shootout in the famous wholesale market of Maharajganj in interior Srinagar today. The incident took place in the afternoon when 3 scooter-borne suspected militants shot at 2 businessmen identified as Shri Krishanan and his son Bal Krishnan, who were sitting in their shop. दूसरा न्यूज़ आइटम जो पब्लिश हुआ था 22 नवंबर 1989. 3 injured in Srinagar bomb blast. At least 3 persons were injured, one of them seriously, when a powerful bomb explosion took place in Chota Bazar, Srinagar locality near Habakadal in interior city late this evening. दूसरा न्यूज़ आइटम इसी दिन है 22 नवंबर. Polling today for 2 valley seats. All is set for holding of elections for the 2 Lok Sabha constituencies of Baramulla and Anantnag in Kashmir Valley, though under the shadow of the threat of the underground militants who have called for complete boycott of the elections. दूसरा न्यूज़ आइटम published on 23rd November 1989. News headline: Band, blasts, arson, mark polling, about 2% turnout in Anantnag, Baramulla. The call for boycotting the Lok Sabha elections in Kashmir Valley, given by the underground militants, evoked nearly total response in the urban areas, while in the rural areas some people came out to cast their votes. दूसरा न्यूज़ आइटम published on the 23rd November 1989. ये है हेडलाइन: Bid to set ablaze ये हैं bid to set bridge ablaze, police firing in Srinagar, Anantnag. Police today fired warning shots and burst tear gas shells to disperse militants who tried to set ablaze the historic Havakadal bridge here in Srinagar, as total band and blackout was observed in the city. दूसरा न्यूज़ आइटम published on the 23rd November 1989, police firing, warning shots in Baramulla. The police today fired warning shots and used tear gas to disperse a stone-throwing mobs. Some people were injured in the accident. Shops and business establishments in the town were shut down following the violence. A hartal was also observed in Pulwama and Tral towns. दूसरा न्यूज़ आइटम पब्लिश्ड ऑन 24 नवंबर 1989, ये हैं large scale violence in Baramulla, Pulwama, tear gassing in Srinagar, other towns, National Conference leaders' house attacked, set ablaze. Violence broke out in Pulwama and Baramulla towns, which observed complete hartal today, with all shops and commercial establishments remaining closed and movement of traffic disrupted. दूसरा न्यूज़ आइटम पब्लिश्ड ऑन 24 नवंबर 1989, ये हैं 30 hurt as police mobs clash in J&K. More than 30 people were injured in clashes between stone-throwing mobs and the police in several areas in Anantnag and Srinagar, as a complete bandh was observed in the Kashmir Valley today. Militants and forces exchanged fire at Chota Bazar. No one was injured in the firing. While the reason for today's bandh was not known, the Jammu and Kashmir Liberation Front has issued a poll boycott call in Muslim majority areas of Jammu for today. At Ranawari, on the outskirts of Srinagar, Indo-Tibetan border police jawans fired in the air to disperse mobs who stormed on ITBP vehicles. News item published on 25th November 1989, ये हैं बंद, large scale violence in Kashmir, exchange of fire, bomb blast in Srinagar, other towns, Congress and National Conference offices attacked, set ablaze. ये हैं bomb explosions, exchange of fire between militants and security personnel, incidents of violence and arson marked the complete bandh in Kashmir Valley today, call for which has been given by the several underground militant organizations. दूसरा न्यूज़ आइटम जो पब्लिश हुआ था 26 नवंबर 1989, blasts damage National Conference activist house. While the situation in this capital city returned to complete normalcy, stray incidents of bomb explosions continued in parts of South and North Kashmir. A powerful bomb explosion took place in the house of National Conference activist identified as Mohammed Dar of village Doru. दूसरा न्यूज़ आइटम पब्लिश्ड ऑन 27th November 1989, blasts damaged houses in Anantnag, Handwara. 4 bomb blasts rocked different parts of the Kashmir Valley last night, causing extensive damage to the property, which included 2 residential houses and 1 commercial establishment. News item published on 28th November 1989, mob tear gassed Anantnag protest against Hindu's election. Police burst several rounds of tear gas shells to disperse the stone-throwing mobs as the town Anantnag observed complete hartal today to protest against the election of the Revenue Minister Mr. Pyarelal Hindu to Lok Sabha. दूसरा न्यूज़ आइटम जो पब्लिश हुआ था 29th November 1989, hijacker of Indian Airlines plane to Lahore top militant enters after 13 years in Pakistan. ये हैं one of the top most militant leaders. Abdul Hamid Diawani is reported to have entered the valley from Pakistan after living in Pakistan for over 13 long years. साथियों, इसके साथ ही आज की जो इस वीडियोस में हमने न्यूज़ आइटम्स कवर किए, शुक्रिया। और अगला वीडियो आपके सामने आ जाएंगे। तब तक आदाब, शुक्रिया।